Yo, what's up, everybody? So, I'm gonna formally debate again. So before you scroll to another video on TikTok, attached to this beginning video, which I'm gonna make very brief, is going to be a debate that I did on someone's live the other day. It was in regards to whether the Gospels are reliable. And me and this person, we had a really good debate, but at the end of the debate, I asked the individual, hey, would you want to do a formal? And he agreed. So currently, I'm setting up a formal debate event where I'm going to be debating, and it's going to be over the Gospels. And that's going to be coming up in the future if you guys are interested. Now, given that, I'm just going to let the debate play. And I'm going to be studying this debate, but it's also going to be available for anyone who wants to watch it and my opponent.
When we get to the end, y'all are going to vote who won for the overall night. Was it Team Christian or Team Atheist? Just so y'all know in the chat, Team Atheist won yesterday. So we're really on a winning streak right now. And we're trying to go 2-0. We're trying to go back to back. All right? So, Twist. 9, love song when she come up. Coco, I need y'all to lock the truck in. One day isn't a stream. First of all, shut up, Breezy. That's number one. Nobody asked you anything.
It's a start.
It's a start. Thank you, Coco. Shit. God damn, you gotta start somewhere. All right, so on my left, my atheist, we got D Twist, or my agnostic. We got the one and only Black 9. We got Love, Love, Love song. And we got my boy, Mr. Coco himself. On my right, we got Breezy. We got Jonathan. We got Infinite. And we got Marcus representing for the Christian side. All right. Here we go. This is our last round, okay? So y'all got to make sure y'all participating. And making sure y'all for real. Y'all gotta let me know who won, okay? This is serious. This is for all the fucking marbles. All right? Atheists in the chat, lock the truck in, okay? Recharge y'all fucking gift. It's go time, okay? We can't let these Christians win.
I got a question.
Okay? Yes, love.
Who am I going up against?
I don't know. All right. No, you're not.
Excuse me?
No, I'm switching the panel. No, I'm switching the panel. Okay, let me do some thinking. Hold on. What do I want to do? Breezy.
Also, by the way, I'll go first. I'll be the first debate.
Okay.
I'll let Jonathan redeem himself to go again.
No. Okay, Breezy.
Yeah. Breezy.
Come on. Yeah. Yep. Breezy and 9. Okay, next is gonna be
9. That's fine.
Yeah, that's bad. I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't understand what Infinite say. I'm not being rude.
D Twist. Love, please relax. D Twist and
I'm going to
bed. Jonathan. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna do Coco and Infinite.
No. Do me with Marcus, because he was challenging me in the comments.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay, Marcus. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna do Infinite. Okay.
And can we go first? Keep this at the top.
Oh, he's ready.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are we doing the Bible reliability?
Hold on.
So when we talked about Tertullian.
Okay, so it's gonna go Coco versus Marcus, D Twist versus Infinite. No, let's do Love Song second. Love Song versus Jonathan, D Twist versus Infinite, and then last but not least will be 9 versus Breezy. All right, this is the rules, y'all. This is for all the marbles. 10 minutes, okay? 60 seconds each will be their opening statement. They'll debate for 8 minutes. I'll stop. We will vote. And then we will move on, okay? Whoever loses gets kicked off the panel. Whoever loses gets kicked off the panel, and only the winners will remain, okay? This is for all the fucking marbles. Atheists, lock the truck in, okay? Lock the truck in. Here we go. Coco versus Marcus. All right. What prompt do y'all want to debate on?
Could we do like a special prompt? I think we want to debate like the Gospels are
not reliable.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right. Marcus, are you done with that?
I don't know, Marcus.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right, boom. So even though that's what the prompt says, the prompt is going to be the Gospels are not, are the Gospels reliable? All right. So one side will be arguing for yes, the other side will be arguing for probably not. All right. So since you said this first, actually, Marcus, since you called him out, I'm going to put you on the timer. You got 60 seconds for your opening statement on why you believe the Gospels are reliable. You ready?
Okay, so if we use the same criteria by which basically we judge other historical works, not only is the gospel, the Bible, reliable, it's more reliable than any other comparable writings. Honestly, reliability basically is a question of truthfulness, accurate copying. And so writings that are historically and factually correct, that have been faithfully preserved over time, would be considered reliable, like higher levels of historical verifications and better confidence in transmission. So, for example, archaeological finds in 1920s confirmed the presence of the city much like Ur, which is in Iraq, that was described in Genesis 11, which many skeptics before that said it did not exist. We found it. Engravings discovered in Egypt. There's a stele where a pharaoh back in, I want to say, 1350 BC, he mentions Israel, saying Israel was laid in waste, which was coincides with what happened in the Judges, the book of Judges. It would be around the same time. So you have different names for Israel. You have Egyptians mentioning the name of Yahweh.
I'm sorry. Time. Whoops.
Okay.
All right, Coco, 60 seconds. Opening statement.
Or actually, could you give him an extra minute and then I can get 2 minutes? Can we do that?
Sure.
Bet.
All right.
I'll do that.
Marcus. Keep going, Marcus. You got another minute.
Okay. Yeah. So Egyptians, there are engravings discovered in Egyptian tombs depict the installation of Viceroy in a manner that exactly matches the biblical description of Genesis chapter 41, 39 to 42 involving Joseph. We have clay tablets dating to 2300 BC that have been found in Syria, strongly supporting Old Testament stories, vocabulary, geography. Skeptics doubted the existence of the Hittites in Genesis chapter 15, verse 20, chapter 23, verse 10, chapter 49, verse 29, until a Hittite city complete with records was found in Turkey. There are just dozens of other Old Testament facts supported by archaeological discovery. Obviously, the most important, no facts obviously presented in the Old or New Testament have been proven false.
Time.
You have to prove it.
Okay, and then I get 2 minutes?
Yep. Go.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, everyone that's listening, all 49 people in here, the topic of tonight is going to be like whether the Gospels are reliable. So I'll grant that like the Old Testament, all of that, sure, I'll grant that that's reliable. The focus for tonight is the Gospels. So I'll grant that they were prophetic. We have to look at the Gospels. The reason that I think the Gospels are not reliable is because Jesus dies in 33 AD, right? And so, essentially, Christians will say that this was spread around by word of mouth. And the earliest gospel that you're going to get is Mark, which is written in 60 or 70 AD, and all the other gospels go later, right? And when it comes to the gospels, they're written internally anonymous. This is according to a biblical scholar named Bart Ehrman. I read his blog. All of the gospels do not identify themselves, especially when being first-hand accounts, and that is incredibly unusual because typically for Greco-Roman first-hand accounts or autobiographies, the authors identify themselves, and other books in the Bible identify themselves, like Paul, Peter, James, and Jude, right? This is especially problematic for Matthew, which is supposed to be a Greco-Roman first-hand account and autobiography, but Matthew doesn't identify himself. And when we look at other biographies by like Porphyry or Tacitus or Lucian or Plutarch, they identify themselves. There's a section, and they are autobiographies and first-hand accounts. Now, as we go into later Gospels, it gets more miraculous. John talks about Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead, and Mark, Matthew, and Luke don't. Matthew talks about zombies or people raising from the grave and an eclipse happening, and Mark and all the other Gospels don't talk about that. And also, Matthew and Luke, lastly, there's a contradiction. Matthew says that Jesus was born during the time of Herod, right? While Luke says that Jesus was born during the time of Quirinius, and those are decades apart. Quirinius rules after Herod, so that's an error that's going to have to be solved. I grant the Old Testament, but we're looking at the Gospels. Are they reliable?
All right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna put 7 minutes on. All right, let me put it on. All right, here we go. I'm gonna let Marcus start it off. All right, chat. We got 7 minutes for Coco and Marcus. This is our final round of battle. So y'all really need to lock in.
Is this back
be
and forth now,
serious.
or are we just?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's go.
I got a
Let's
question.
go, Coco. Let's go.
Yeah, so I got a question for you. What specific historical standard are you using to call the Gospels unreliable?
Yeah, so typically when we look at historical standards, like let's say we're trying to verify that George Washington existed, we need to be able to verify the authors of the accounts that we're looking at. We need to date them pretty close, like they need to be contemporaries, right? And we need to have a multitude of them, right? When it comes to George Washington, we have his own journals and we have people who knew about them. When it comes to the Gospels, Christians want to say they're firsthand accounts, but the Gospels are written anonymously. They're not contemporary. And this is a very rare thing that happens in antiquity, right? When it comes to any other writing in antiquity, typically the authors identify themselves. Like I said, Tacitus, Cornelius, Posidonius, Hilarius. I can name 15 people and sites in the sources where they identify themselves when they are writing Greco-Roman autobiographies and first-hand accounts. But for some reason, the Gospels don't. And then also the Gospels get more miraculous as they get dated. You have early Gospels detailing God's life and later Gospels forgetting entire events or including events that earlier Gospels didn't really account for. So it's as if, the story's becoming more miraculous over time. And also, even in today's... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so do you apply this same thing with Tacitus writings and Herodotus writings? Like, do you apply the same thing?
Give me an example of Tacitus's writings.
So Tacitus writes in his Annals, he mentions that Jesus Christ was crucified under Pontius Pilate.
Well, yeah, so I can grant that Jesus was crucified under Pontius Pilate, but I don't grant that he resurrected. I don't really grant that he did the miracles.
Wait, but that proves the gospel. Because if Jesus Christ is if Tacitus, why would he need to write about Christianity? He was a strong critic of Christianity. But he mentions Jesus Christ being crucified under Pontius Pilate.
Well, yeah,
so the gospel from an outside source.
Yeah. So typically, I take the majority view that Jesus existed, and a majority of scholars agree he was some kind of apocalyptic preacher, right? But we don't grant that he was divine. And also, Tacitus identifies himself.
That's not what we need to prove.
Well, hold on, but also Tacitus identifies himself.
Right. So that's not what. Right. We don't need to prove outside if Jesus was divine. That's why we have the Gospels. That's why we have. Wait, I'm going to help you understand.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
We have the Gospels.
Hold on. Wait. The point here, right, is the Gospels are written internally anonymous. Tacitus identifies himself in his work.
They're not anonymous. There's authors.
Yeah, they are. Scholars agree with that. The Gospels don't identify themselves in their writings. We don't get the names until 2nd century, when Irenaeus, in his work against the heresies, identifies all 4 Gospel authors. And Irenaeus is going to be the earliest person identifying all 4 Gospels, and that's 185 AD.
So are you saying that...
Unless you can name me a source earlier than Irenaeus.
Okay, so the canacity and Matthean's authorship of the Gospel of Matthew, just looking at Matthew of the Gospels, were basically unchallenged in the early church. Eusebius quotes Origen in 185, from 185 to 254. He quotes Origen as Matthew is the author of the Gospel of Matthew. This is early church. This is early church.
Okay, wait.
That Matthew, you have to prove otherwise why that's not the case. Did somebody else say something else?
Okay, yeah. So I granted that. So when the Gospels are dated, Mark is going to be your earliest Gospel dated in 60, 70. But when it's dated, we don't get the names till Irenaeus, and I'll grant you 185 A.D. That's a problem, right? So essentially, Jesus dies in 33 A.D., and the story of Jesus is being spread by word of mouth, right? Until we get these anonymously written letters. We don't know who they're written by because the authors don't identify themselves, like other works in the Bible.
I just said that Eusebius. Okay, so. You're just not.
Wait,
you're not countering what I just said.
Wait, yeah, I'm about
to. Controversy. So really quick, like, slow down. You're not countering. I just said Eusebius. I just gave you an early church father, Eusebius.
When is that dated? When is Eusebius dated?
He's dated. He's coming into. He's quoting Origen, who was in the maybe 85 years.
Is he saying that he's quoting somebody, or is he saying that he knows who the gospel writers are?
Origen is in the 2nd century. Eusebius comes in the next century after that.
Okay, so we're talking early. So that's bad because like the early.
Why is that bad?
Okay, yeah. So let me explain. So the earliest person that identifies the gospel authors is Irenaeus, which is 2nd century, and you're telling me Eusebius comes after. So that doesn't help your case.
I have sources. You just said that you use the same. Sir, you just said that you use the same standard for ancient historian.
Right. Yes. So I'm referring to Bart Ehrman and also scholarly consensus.
Yeah, Bart Ehrman. Yeah.
So again, like that doesn't really help your case because Eusebius is later. So essentially,
Bart Ehrman actually discusses the early pre-Pauline in his "How Jesus Became God: The Exaltation of Jewish Preachers."
Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with the naming of the Gospels. Like I had to read Bart Ehrman's blog to find out that the Gospels are written anonymously. Scholars do agree with that. And the reason why we know this. Wait, hold on. The reason why we know this. The reason why we know this is because other books in the Bible identify themselves, like Paul, Peter, James, and Jude.
Listen, Bart Ehrman says that the 1 Corinthians chapter 15:3, going back to the resurrection.
That's not identifying the gospel authors.
He says that's an early creed.
He
said that was pre-Pauline creed. So
the Corinthians creed is not identifying the gospel authors. And the Corinthians creed is just Paul reiterating what the early church tells him. Paul is just a spokesperson for the early church. How can we trust early church tradition?
But you have to prove otherwise.
Wait. How can we trust? No. So answer my question. How can we trust early church tradition?
But you would have to prove otherwise.
I'm asking a question. Why should we trust early church tradition?
You have yet to provide
miraculous miracles
opposite of what I said.
I have provided sources. I provided you with the scholar, Bart Ehrman. Who's talking about how Paul, Peter, James, and Jude identify themselves with the Gospels.
One of the disciples. So you have disciples from John.
Wait, which disciples?
The church of Smyrna.
Which disciples?
So we have John. The way it works is that
John is written anonymously.
No, John is not written anonymously.
Well, okay, so the reason I say they're written anonymously is because none of the gospel authors identify themselves.
Time is up, gentlemen. Time is up, unfortunately. All right, no second rounds this time. All right, chat. This is very serious. This is our last round, okay? I am going to put up this poll, chat. Do not comment in the comment box. You need to vote on the poll that I put up. Below where you type in your chat, right? You're going to see a laughing face and a crying face. The laughing emoji will be for Coco. The crying emoji will be for Marcus. If you think Marcus won this debate, you will vote and click on the crying face. If you think Coco won, you will click on the laughing face. Here we go. All right, y'all. Do y'all see it? The laughing face is in red. Yes. The crying face is in blue. Okay? The crying face is for Marcus and the laughing face is for Coco. Vote. Go, 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 go. Do not put in a chat, god damn it. Vote. Okay, Coco's in the lead with 12. Okay, Marcus got 7.
Brown, when we vote, it goes into the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Love y'all.
Yeah,
okay, 13. Okay. It goes into the chat too. Okay, all right, y'all. 13 versus 8. Okay, Coco's in the lead with 13. Marcus got 8. All right, y'all. Let's go. This is serious. Come on. This is serious. Whoever loses gets dropped from the panel. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wow, atheist.
All right, Marcus, you have
Y'all
been
making me
booted
nervous.
off. Marcus,
Don't
we
get a
love
gift moment.
Marcus, but Marcus,
Never
huh?
get moment. They don't get a
Okay,
gift
yes, let's
moment.
do. Okay, yeah, let's do a gift moment. All right, this is for all the marbles. Whoever wins the gift
Oh
battle.
shit.
Wait,
All
hold on. I
right,
won the poll. Wait, what? I'm gonna
I know you.
lose? Wait, I won the poll.
Yeah, you
You
lost the poll,
did.
bro.
Okay. Well, he already at 3K. Okay, light it up, light it up.
Wait,
Let's
wait, I
go.
won the poll.
Don't
That was
be
a
a
smiley
brokey.
face.
Don't be a brokey. Let's
Yeah.
go.
He
If
won the
you
poll.
choose
He just didn't
Marcus,
win the
It's
method
up
of
to the
historical
Christians to
finding.
show how much they like Marcus.
let's see how much they like Marcus. Let's
Or they
see.
like him
Let's
enough
see.
past 3K.
20 seconds. 19, 18, 17,
I'll be
16,
damned.
15, 14, 13,
they
12,
said
11.
they
These
said go with
roses
Christ,
not gonna do
Marcus.
nothing.
Hey,
They said go with the
the
Lord.
burden of proof was on him the whole entire time. He just didn't
10,
provide it to you.
9,
9,
8,
8,
7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2, 1.
and all right,
Yeah.
Marcus, that
They
was
said
a
we're not spoiling
valiant
that low for
effort.
you.
But actually,
That,
Marcus, we should run this back sometime and do like a full, like, formal debate. I'll do
Just
it.
come back on. Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Come
Absolutely.
back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. Y'all
Yeah.
can do round number 2. We love to hear it. We just don't got time today. But hey,
Wait,
Matt, what's going on?
somebody said Coco was already up.
I had a bit of an advantage.
Yeah,
He's coming from
somebody
behind.
said he already had points. He was already up
Marcus,
1K. I'm just saying.
Marcus,
That's what
unfortunately,
somebody said in the comments. Everybody.
I got to send you to the gulags. All right.
Send his ass to
Coco
hell.
is the
Send his
winner.
ass to hell.
All right. Our next debate, love song versus